Good morning. It is a great day to have synchronicity, and I am so excited that we are joined today by Philly Autism Kickback. We have Leah and Chaneil with us. Good morning, guys. How are you?
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
It's nice to be here.
Thank you. So tell us all about Philly Autism Kickback.
Okay, so Philly Autism Kickback is a nonprofit that we started back in 2019. Our mission is really to empower young adults on the autism spectrum by providing an interactive and communal space that promotes individuality, unity, and self-awareness. I'm a social worker, and Leah works in the schools. She's a therapist in the schools. And we learned that, like you were saying earlier, after 21, there really aren't any services for adults with autism. And so we saw this as a gap in services. And we decided to start the Philly Autism Kickback to just, promote that community and create a space for adults with autism to gather and continue their social interactions.
Amazing. So tell us a little bit about yourselves. Leah, just give us a little bit of background information about you and the impact that you're making in the field. Just introduce yourself to us.
Okay. So I am a therapist at the Center for Autism. I started working there around 2018, and then I transitioned as an autistic support teacher in the high school setting for 9th grade students. And I've just was really passionate about starting a nonprofit and helping this community. I love working with young adults as well as children who are on the spectrum, and this really this organization really allowed Chaneil and I to basically do things that we would love young adults on the autism spectrum to experience, and really open doors for them to become individuals as well as independent.
Amazing. Thank you for that. Chaneil, what about you? Talk to us a little bit about your background and what types of impact you are making on the field.
So I'm a social worker, master's level social worker. Right now, I'm a child advocate social worker working in child welfare. And even in that setting, I see, child welfare ends at 21. And, whether you're in a good position, bad position, it doesn't matter. It just ends. And so I just, I've always been community oriented and volunteering and serving the community. And I just saw this as a good way to build a community within our community, and just making, adults with autism more visible in the larger community as well.
Yeah. Amazing. Really, really good. And so as I was saying this morning before we jumped on the call, was that I found you guys because I have a son that has autism spectrum disorder. And he received early intervention for the Center for Autism. And then he aged out and went into the Philadelphia school district. And things were going pretty well up until he was about 11. And then things just kind of fell apart, right? As far as services and changes in community behavioral health and supports and waiting lists and just so many different things. So now that he's 18 and I found this support program, I was over the moon. And I said that I had to reach out, get him involved. And when I seen some young ladies of color that started this program, and you just have not, I have not, as a parent, seen anything like this, I was like, oh yes, we have to get them on here, get them on the couch and hear all about this because it's phenomenal, because it is for an age where services begin to die out, right? They're no longer in that K to 18 range. And so the supports aren't really there. And one of the things that I've learned is that we want to increase and continue those social supports. So when I seen this program, I definitely said I have to get these young ladies on the couch. So tell me, what made you begin this nonprofit program?
What really inspired us, I used to work the Saturday program. And I was speaking to a few parents, and that's when we realized that after 21, there's a gap in services.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much what really inspired it. And we just we thought that that would be a good position for us to create a space for services that didn't exist.
Yes, amazing space. So how long have you guys been initiated?
Well, we started in 2019, then the pandemic hit.
Yep.
And so we continue to, build our social media and do just awareness and different promotions on Instagram. And then once the pandemic kind of lightened up, we started doing a lot more networking and we started to recruit members. And last summer we had our first, we did an 8-week summer session. We had 5 guys that were pretty consistent and we did different activities throughout the summer and they really enjoyed that. And now we're doing monthly gatherings and then in the hope that we'll do another 8-week session this upcoming summer.
Really good. Amazing. So in your time with Philly Autism Kickback, what stigma, or just in your time in the field, what stigma have you seen, if any, around autism? And how would you say your program addresses that?
Yeah, so adults with autism, I feel are often starting with the parents, and then even in the community, they're kind of I can't think of the word, kind of babied, or they're not treated as adults. They're treated people have to do things for them, and they're protected, and we want to keep them safe because we're concerned about their awareness and things like that. And also some of the behaviors might, some of the stemming behavior sometimes, we get side eyes or people staring and things like that. But our goal is to promote the individuality and autonomy amongst our members, so that they tell us what they're interested in. We try to create programming around that, and then when we're out, it's you go ahead and do what you do. We're not hovering over them. We're not ordering their food. We really give them the independence to to have the autonomy to become the adult that they want to be.
To be them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the individuality is really important to us, and just helping them to, build their confidence up and
yeah. Good. Leah, anything you wanted to add to that? It looked like you was ready to jump in.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, even as my experience as a high school autistic support teacher, we do a lot of community outings. And like Chaneil had mentioned, sometimes we do get that side eye from individuals who don't understand individuals who are on the autism spectrum, or even individuals with intellectual disabilities at all. I have some students who have a lot of high sensory needs, and they may become overly stimulated by maybe big crowds or certain noises, and they may get overwhelmed and might get aggressive or upset just because there's too much stimuli going around them. And I feel like individuals, they have to understand that, yes, even though this person is upset, try to look over that and try to see that these individuals have to learn different coping mechanisms and different steps to help themselves when they're outside of the community. So that's a big stigma that I do see a lot of times. Especially, I have a parent who's concerned because his son is the African American, and he's afraid that once he goes out in the community and he becomes upset, that there's a possibility that somebody might call the police and a police officer might get involved. So it's really, really, it's a little scary out here for especially African American boys who are in the Philadelphia community when they get overly stimulated. So this is why Chaneil and I really wanted to make this program, because we want them to feel safe and feel a sense of belongingness, as well as we keep on saying individuality.
Yeah, definitely. Right. And I can attest to that. Having a son that is 6'2", that looks, typical, whatever typical would be, and who can get overstimulated if something is outside of his routine. And that has definitely been a concern. If police are called or police are involved and he can't follow or does not understand simple commands, what may that escalate to? Right. And so that's why I believe that education is so important. And like you young ladies both said, for us to be able to embrace individuality, right? And one of the things that I learned on my personal journey, Chaneil, like you said, as far as stemming, my son, when he was growing up and he was a younger person, he used to stem a lot too, right? So you would see the flapping of the arms or the hitting of the ears. You would see these different behaviors. And I used to be embarrassed as well. Like, here I have this 12-year-old boy that's getting bigger and, he's making these noises and he's flapping these arms. And just like you said, here comes the side eye. And at the time, I had talked to his pediatrician about it. And she said, we all stem. She said, we just aren't able to control it. She said, if you're patting your foot when you become nervous or you start tapping a pen or biting your nails, that's stemming behavior, right? They just do it a lot overtly. And so it's not our job to make the public comfortable. It's our job to educate and say, this is a part of them and that is okay. So I really love the mission that you are putting out there. And one resource that I want to give to anyone that is watching, when we talk about police, your police divisions, they should have a form that you can fill out that will let them know that someone in their district has either a severe mental health disorder or intellectual disability, or that they're on the spectrum. And not saying that in the moment that would be 100% helpful, but it is some steps that we can take to be able to educate on some of the things that are going on in the community, and hoping that the police officers can begin to start safeguarding some of these residents instead of being fearful of them. Okay, so what successes have you ladies seen with Philly Autism Kickback?
Well, like I was saying, coming out of the pandemic, we was able to get a small group together of 5 guys. We had a really awesome summer. We made some community partnerships. We had like a pizza shop that reached out and gave us a discount. So we made like connections in the community. We definitely expanded our reach. Like from last year, we probably had like 300 followers on Instagram, and now we're like almost at 1,000. And our past event, our events were small. Like we were getting 4 or 5 people showing up. And our past event where we went to Dave & Buster's, we had 14 people come out. And so that was really exciting. We've also received a grant from Autism Speaks for $5,000. And so we're looking forward to, having more programming this summer. And it seems like we've gotten a lot of parents have been talking about us. So we've gotten a lot of messages of like, how can my child join? And so it's been really exciting. Leah, if you wanted to add anything.
Also, we've also been getting like emails about attending different resource fairs as well. And like we're actually going to be at a resource fair later on in January in Norristown. So we're really excited to attend that as well. So it's been really, honestly, it's been a great year. It's kind of amazing. Actually, it's really amazing that Chaneil and we started our program this summer, and just by over the course of 8 weeks and like people connecting on our Instagram, now we have an even bigger group who are coming out, and it's getting really exciting.
Definitely exciting. I'm excited just hearing about it, right? What goals are you looking to achieve? What are some of your big long-term goals?
Yes, we really like to build out our board. I don't know, Shakira, if you know anyone that does that kind of work, we could use some help around that. But we really like to build a board of governors that could help with our organization and also be committed to our mission. We also, we're growing. Like we said, we're getting all this excitement and interaction, and we need like volunteers.
Yes.
Badly. Volunteers. Make sure that is put in bold. As far as volunteers, I know that is important, and I know that there are families that would just love to get involved. Definitely, as far as your board, I'm going to email you behind the scenes because I already have some ideas flowing for that. So, it's all about connections and making sure that we as a community make sure that you grow and that you have the resources that you need to continue providing such essential services, right? Social skills are so important for this group. So definitely excited to hear about all of that. How could a young adult get connected to PAC?
So a young adult, they can check out our Instagram. Within our bio, there is a Google form that individuals can fill out. They can also check out our website, which is Philly Autism Kickback.org. And there is also a form at the bottom of our webpage that individuals can fill out as well. And also, if individuals just want to shoot us a quick DM or a direct message through Instagram, then we can definitely guide them on the steps on how to fill out the form. Or, we can just give them a quick call and just connect with them on that way as well.
Okay, perfect. And I'll make sure that all of that information is pinned under this video. So Leah, Chaneil, why would you say that social experiences are so important to individuals on the spectrum?
I feel like they're really important because, just from getting a lot of feedback from parents are so relieved that they found a program where their child can actually begin to socialize once again. I get a lot of parents saying that, after high school, their child is sitting in the house. They're bored, they're not doing anything, and that they're usually just using electronics as their outlet to socialize with individuals or just to pass the time. So that's why Chaneil and I wanted to create this program, because we wanted individuals to come outside and start to experience new things, and as well as basically have a good time. A lot of the times, just sitting in the house and not doing a lot of things, you can get depressed, you can get really bored and agitated. So coming out and finding new friends and getting connections that are human connections, one-to-one, I think it's a great experience.
Definitely. Really, really good. And one thing that I have seen interacting with this population is that they want friends, just like everyone else, right? They want social networking. They want to be accepted, and they want to be able to go out and have their own social group as well. So promoting that and giving them the opportunity to make that friend group is so important as far as self-esteem, so important as far as feeling accepted and feeling as if they are a part of something, right? And that it's not defined by their diagnosis. I love the fact that Chaneil has said when you guys are out, she's like, okay, now do you. I'm not ordering your food or any of that, be you. And that's exactly what this population needs. So I think that is definitely amazing.
Yeah.
So if you have a young adult and they join PAC, what should they expect?
They should expect to be welcomed with open arms. They can expect to be themselves and also to make new friends and new connections. They can expect to have their voice heard, and as well as their thoughts and opinions. And they can also expect to have a sense of independence as well. A lot of times when we have our PAC meetings, we ask our members, what would you like to do? We always tell them that even though Chaneil and I are the forefront of the organization, we want you guys to lead the organization because we want to do the things that you guys would like to do. And actually at our last info session, we had a jam board, and we got a lot of individuals to put things that they want to do. during the upcoming events. So we have a lot of plans, movie events, as well as maybe going to a sporting event. Anything honestly that they would like to do, we would like to place it into our upcoming events.
Yes. I love it. I love it. So you two are working with a very unique population and providing social services and are light workers. What stress reduction techniques do you two utilize to help you keep up this important work? Leah, we'll start with you and then go to Chaneil.
Okay. Honestly, I would say that we don't put a lot of pressure on ourselves to be successful, if that makes any sense. When we started this organization, we started it in 2019. That was when the pandemic truly hit us. And even though the pandemic hit us, we couldn't really do anything because our program is mainly a socialization program, we still never gave up hope that eventually our program would come to light. Basically, we still had our own personal meetings. We did things slowly. We discussed different opportunities that we could see within the future. And eventually, everything just happened. And stress personally for myself, I would say basically lots of sleep and also basically just taking my time, understanding that I'm only one person and everything is not going to be perfect, and just to try my best just to take things slowly and realize that things will happen.
Things will happen when they're supposed to happen, right? That was really good. What about you, Chaneil? What stress reduction techniques do you utilize support backing you after you've been poured into this population?
Yes, yeah, just to piggyback off of what Leah was saying earlier, like just giving myself grace and giving ourselves grace. Because like when we look back, it's like we did a lot of stuff. It's like we did this, we did that, we did that. So like give ourselves credit for that, and not stress ourselves out about it. So I would just agree with what Leah was saying. And then for myself, I work out 3 times a week, and that's been good for me. And also just taking time to like go for a walk. I like hikes, so like getting into nature. So that's how I reduce stress.
Yes, really, really good. The part that I love, that I was so in love with, that you said, was giving myself grace. And a lot of us just don't do that, right? We can be our worst critic and put so much pressure on ourselves. So allowing yourself that space to give yourself grace and to take your time and say, this is going to unfold the way it needs to be, and I'm okay, is definitely amazing. So really good advice. So if a person wants to get more information, if they want to donate, if they want to join, what would you say? How can we find you?
So if a person would like to donate, they could check out our website, which I'll say again is Philly Autism Kickback.org. There is a donate button. We're gladly to take any donations. We have a lot of ideas that we would love to happen throughout the next couple of years. So any donation will help. And for someone who would like to join, like I said before, they could just connect with us on Instagram. They could fill out our Google form. And if they're having a little trouble, they can just send us a direct message and we will definitely answer. Or they can email us as well. Our email is phillyautismkickback@gmail.com. We are frequently checking our emails as well, so they can also reach out to us there as well.
Good stuff. What else? What haven't we covered that you would like us to know? What else would you like to tell us? What final thoughts do you want to leave us with? Now is the opportunity and a space for that.
Okay. We're definitely having our 8-week session this summer. We're really excited. We're hoping that a lot of members come out to join us. We're definitely looking for volunteers who are passionate about helping our community. We definitely are excited.
Yeah, so follow us on Instagram. Everything that that Leah mentioned is also in our link tree. If you go to our Instagram, there's a button for everything, so you can access it pretty quickly through Instagram. We also will have a virtual game night on January 28th. Hopefully Jordan could come.
Yes.
And we also are planning for February as well, maybe doing like some kind of like Black History event, maybe going to a museum. So we're still working on that. But yeah, we have a lot of stuff in the works that we'll be promoting on our Instagram.
And one more thing, if you look into our bio on our Instagram, we do have a link tree. And if you click it, there is a link to our newsletter. So we have a newsletter that we have. We actually have an intern who goes to a Science Leadership Academy, and he's working on our newsletter for January. He found us on Instagram, and he's a really great intern. So pretty cool.
Look at the good things that social media can do, right? And
Yes,
so
definitely.
not always, but sometimes I tell my clients, I'm like, social media is toxic, delete it, right? But when we channel the energy into the right things, look at how many opportunities have opened up, right? And the members that you found an intern, people are finding you, and the positive interactions. So I'll have to go back on some of my words and be like, okay, it's not that bad, right? Let's just make sure we're translating our energy into the right things. So definitely so happy that you ladies were able to join me this morning, that you were able to talk to us about this amazing organization, Philly Autism Kickback. We are going to make sure that we pin all of the information under the video and have your email address so that if anyone is interested or need more information, or if anyone contacts me, I'll make sure that I'll forward it over to you guys. Thank you so much for pouring into this community and having the vision that brought forth such a wonderful program for a population that has been overlooked for so long. It was good talking to you. Have a wonderful day, and we will chat soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.